Thanks so much for joining us here on this Hump Day Wednesday edition of Weather Impact Now. We appreciate you being here. I'm Chief Meteorologist Trevor Burchett. Been a busy day in the Weather Center as we've been tracking more of those summertime pop-up storms. Thankfully starting to fizzle out now, but they meant business earlier today across most of the Mid-South. We'll take you live outside to downtown first off, show you what's happening, and you can see things are looking in better shape at this point. We've even got a little bit of blue sky off in the distance as the sun is just beginning to set. And really the radar is looking a lot clearer than it was starting this morning and into the afternoon. We had pop-up storms that really developed by about lunchtime and then continued through the afternoon. But you see now things are looking to be in much better shape. As we put on the radar here, just to kind of show you what's going on, not a whole lot. Radar has really cleared up as of about the last hour or so. We had one little thunderstorm that was still hanging on in Forest City, really right between Forest City and West Memphis. If we put this radar in motion over the last couple of hours, you can see that very intense cell as it moved down to the south, brought a little bit of rain to Horseshoe Lake, and then kind of fizzled out just as it crossed the river. We also had some very heavy rain, though, earlier this morning in the Memphis metro area. I want to check out some of these totals because we actually had a little bit of isolated flooding on the roadways from all of that heavy rain. Anywhere in green is where we saw over an inch of rain. So we had some cells here just to the east of Marion earlier this afternoon where we were talking about up to 3 inches of rain that fell not far from Marion. There you see 4 inches radar estimated, about 3 inches near Byhalia, and then same thing as you look up toward Mason and Braden, about 1.5 inches, and then St. Francis County with that storm that just came through, about 1 inch to 1.5 inches. There you see another 2 inches in Holly Springs. We'll zoom on out and kind of show you the whole area as far as the rainfall totals go. And as you can see, as we talk about, it was very hit or miss. You look down in North Mississippi, Clarksdale, Quitman County, Panola County, hardly saw any rain. Dyersburg was also mostly dry, but it seemed like today mainly right across Interstate 40 and here into the Memphis metro area is where we saw the heaviest rainfall. But again, radar looking much better now as those storms are starting to fizzle on out. And I do think the rest of the night is going to be mostly dry. However, we are in summertime and storms like to pop up on a whim. So remember, now's a great time to get that ABC24 Plus app. If you scan the QR code on your screen, that's going to take you to download our streaming app for your smart TV. So if you have a Roku, Fire TV, Apple TV, Samsung, anything you can download apps on, you can download our ABC24 app on. You can watch the radar anytime you want. You can actually switch between our live broadcast or just watching the radar. And that could come in handy here over the next few days as we do expect more storms to develop. Now, looking at the rain chances here for the next 12 hours, I do think for the rest of the night, we are going to be mostly dry. Can't rule out a little sprinkle, but I think we are done with those big time thunderstorms like what we saw earlier. Officially at the airport, no rain in the bucket. That's our measuring site for Memphis International for the city of Memphis. So no rain at Memphis International, but other parts of the city, of course, saw plenty of rain. High temperature today was 91, but it fell pretty quickly once it started raining. Average high 92, record 103. That was back just a few years ago in 2022. Over the next few days, temperatures are going to be climbing. That's due mainly in part to the fact that rain chances are going to go down. So we've been kind of in a stormy pattern here for the last couple of days. I do think as we end the week, Thursday and Friday are going to turn out more on the dry side. But for the weekend, I did introduce those rain chances and bump them up just a little bit higher. I was hoping that the weekend was going to be more dry, but I do think we will have at least a couple of pop-up storms. We'll talk about that here in a minute. As far as tonight goes, 75 your low temperature, partly cloudy. And again, I think rain chances are very, very low. I can't rule out a sprinkle, but most of us look dry tonight. Tomorrow, kind of the same thing. It looks like a much more dry day. I don't expect those big time pop-up storms like what we saw today or yesterday. Maybe a quick little downpour, but I just really think many of us will be dry for Thursday. Sunny, and of course, dry and sunny means we are hotter. So we get into the mid-90s tomorrow. It is going to be a hotter afternoon and a more humid afternoon as well. Heat index closer to 100, maybe even a little above that. 101 is what it's going to feel like in Memphis, 103 in Truman. So here's that hour-by-hour radar. Notice it has a couple of showers right now. Those fizzle out very quickly as the sun sets. So tonight, dry. Tomorrow morning, dry. Tomorrow afternoon, pretty much dry. Notice there are a couple of blips on the radar, and now we're getting into Thursday night, Friday morning here, but tomorrow looks dry. Maybe a couple of sprinkles late tomorrow night into Friday morning, but then we'll keep this going into Friday, and aside from a sprinkle or two, I think Friday is going to be a pretty dry day as well. So in general, Thursday and Friday looking like mostly dry days. It is going to feel hotter though. By the weekend, Saturday and Sunday, we are going to introduce those rain chances and bump them up just a little bit higher. Now, these are going to be pop-up storms. So this does not ruin the whole weekend. It is not going to rain constantly Saturday and Sunday. I have outdoor plans on Saturday. I hope you'll get out and enjoy some of those plans as well. But keep an eye on the radar, because much like this past weekend over the 4th of July, when a storm does pop up, it could be heavy. It's not going to rain everywhere, but if you do see rain this weekend, it could be heavy, especially late in the afternoon and early in the evening. So enjoy the weekend. Just keep that ABC24 app on your phone and be prepared to head inside if you hear thunder or you see some storm clouds brewing in the distance. Otherwise, hot this weekend, low to mid 90s, heat index close to 100. So again, the hour-by-hour radar shows us this moisture coming into the Mid-South for both Saturday and Sunday. Especially Saturday, I think it's going to have a better chance for those pop-up storms, but we'll watch it. Bottom line is, it's not a washout. These are going to be isolated storms that hit some neighborhoods, miss others. They usually don't last but about an hour. The rest of the day dry, but be aware if you do see a storm, it could be heavy downpours, high wind gusts. So just remember, if you do hear thunder, be prepared to head inside. Heat index looks like it's going to be highest tomorrow and Friday because we don't have much rain, but it does look like the heat index will be a little lower next week as we get maybe a slight drop in humidity. It might not be a lot, but could be just enough. So 93 for tomorrow and Friday, partly cloudy to mostly sunny. Rain chances are very low for the next couple of days. So if you need to get something done, Thursday, Friday seeming like a pretty good day for it. Aside from the heat, make sure you stay hydrated. 92 on Saturday, 91 Sunday. More of those pop-up storms returning like we just talked about. It will not rain all weekend, but if you do see a storm, it could be heavy. Next week, I do think we go into more of a dry pattern, and the temperature drops just a little bit behind a cold front, if you want to call it that. More like a not quite as hot front, if you want to say that. 90 on Monday, 91 Tuesday, and 92 on Wednesday. Humidity may be a little more tame next week, so we might not be talking about big-time heat index values, but rain chances do go down. I think it'll be a pretty dry week, but hopefully that humidity not quite as high by this time next week. We will wait and see. All right, that is a check of your local forecast. After the big storms today, things are clearing out just a little bit, but if you are planning on heading out of town over the next few days, meteorologist Daniel McDonald has you covered with your regional forecast. That's right after the break.